in Cairns after one of the greatest adventures of my life. 2 years ago, I had the idea to ride a push bike to the top of Australia, Pajinka or Cape York. And after a whole lot of reading and looking at blogs and YouTube and talking to people, it happened, and I've just done it, and this is the video of my amazing adventure trip. I'd like to thank 3 people in particular. Dave, a really good mate of mine who came on some practice rides, lent me some of his gear. He's very good technically, so gave me some very, very helpful advice. And so I'm very grateful to him. Dan and Andrew at the bike co-op in West Footscray. They gave me hours of their time and giving me advice, setting my bike up for the trip that I've just done. The bike has performed so well. It hasn't had any issues whatsoever. The advice and the assistance they've given me has given me the confidence to do the trip and has given me what I need with the bike. And finally, I'd like to thank my greatest support, Jackie, my wife, who has been a wonderful practical support. She's looked after the kids for 2 weeks and everything that comes with that on her own. And she's been such a wonderful moral support as well. She's my greatest support. I don't think I would have had the courage to do it without her thinking that it was such a great idea when I first told her the silly idea that I had. And so for that, I'm very grateful. Wow, goodness, what a 24 hours it's been. I arrived at Cairns Airport at 3 o'clock yesterday. Put my bike back together. It didn't go back together as easily as I'd hoped, but it did eventually go back together. Jumped on the road, so sandy, just wiping out corrugations, slow as. My technology wasn't working. I didn't know where I was. I didn't know how far I was from Archer River where I was aiming for. But kind of slogged it out. Went past a truck driver, said, "You've got about 15 k's to go." I thought, I can do that. Kept going. The road turned to bitumen, so that was happy days, and flew in the end. Beautiful ride into Archer River, sun was setting, bats, kind of just an endless stream of black bats flying across the sky in front of the sunset. Pretty spectacular. Archer River was beautiful. Roadhouse with a campground attached. Stayed there for the night, some friendly people, got some good info from people about what to expect today on the ride that I've been on today. Got up this morning, did some running repairs on the bike, just some stuff that needed fixing, minor stuff, and yeah, packed up and got on the road. It was bitumen for the first 35k, so I flew through that. And then it's been, that was the Peninsula Development Road turned off onto the Portland Road, and that's been dirt. Yeah, stopping now for a bit of lunch in the middle of the day. Yeah, seen some cool stuff like a couple of kangaroos, lots of birds, kookaburras, galahs. It's very cool. Yeah, having a really good time. Everything's going to plan so far. I'm on track for where I want to be. Heading to Pasco River tonight. Just went past some guys on the roadworks who confirmed that there is some water there, so that'll be good. It'll be a nice spot to camp. And then on to Chili Beach after that. With some backburning. Not yet backburned. Backburned. Not backburned. Hey, horsey. Bye, horsey. Alright, this is how you swim in a river that you know has crocs in it. I've had a good look around. There's nothing anywhere near here. I've been down here for about half an hour, 45 minutes, just checking it out, filling up my water bottles. I'm sure the locals will think I'm being totally paranoid. But I need a swim after today. Alright, let's do it. Oh man. One more. That's better. Here we are on day 3, just hitting Kotini Payumu National Park, or Iron Range National Park. Surprising, there's some decent hills and pretty knackered from climbing them. But the bike's doing well. So far I'm doing well. And a bit of luxury, some bitumen. A couple of creek crossings earlier on, they were right. Paid a lot of attention as I was crossing on my own, but no sign of anything untoward. Another, I think, 40 odd Ks to Chili Beach. How the hell do you do that to a car? By way of update from Portland roads, I have had a wonderful 24 hours. Jackie organised me somewhere to stay last night because I wasn't organised enough to do that myself. Found this fantastic place. Nim and Neil have taken good care of me, bought me a cold beer last night. They're shouting me my stay there. I'm not having to pay anything though. Maybe I'll leave a bit of cash. Rode across the 12 odd Ks to here to Portland roads. Had incredible, very decadent seafood lunch. I had a need for a day off today and kindly have had it. Yeah, the lunch was something else. Some pan-fried fish and chips, some prawns and iced coffee. Bumped into a couple that I saw yesterday, Butch and Sandy. They sat with them and had a chat for an hour or so. Now I'm just sitting by the beach here at Portland Roads. It's bloody paradise, I tell you. Heading back this afternoon to Weymouth, where I'm staying. See what the afternoon holds. Been a pretty incredible 24 hours, and after a slog of a couple of days, it's been nice to have some time off. Back on the road tomorrow. Good morning. About an hour along the road from Weymouth. I don't know if you can see these mountains in the background. I'm pretty sure that's Mount Tozer, where I'm headed tonight via Lockhart for some supplies. I'm glad it's still early in the morning. I've got a bit to go. Well, I've just been into Lockhart and done a big shop. The shop was amazing actually. It was like a IGA that I'm used to from around where I live. Ridden back up to the ranger station, which is just over here. And now I've got a choice to make. I can ride 10 Ks to find a nice spot to camp next to Mount Tozer, which was pretty spectacular. Saw it on the way in here. Or I go to the Frenchman's Turnoff, or I go to all the way on to Pasco River on the Frenchman's. Either of those three options is the difference between, I think it's 13 Ks or another 40 Ks. Well, here we go, Frenchman's Track. There's no markings, but this tells us where to go, I think. And then there it is. I think it's 70 odd Ks and apparently pretty rough, so we'll see how we come out the other side of it. Glad for the experience or regretful for not taking the easy long way round? We'll see.
I'm an hour or so into Frenchman's. It's been quite a wild ride. There's some soft sand that's hard to get through, but I think I've worked out how to do it with a bit of speed. I've dropped the pressure on the tyres. There is some rocky bits. It's all pretty flat. There's some pretty gnarly kind of bits that would be freaking hard for a four-wheel drive to get through, but I've seen a couple, so it can be done. And then I've just come across a little landslide off the side of the track. I reckon I'm another half an hour or so to Pasco River, and that's camp for the night. Just unpacking my tent to set up for the night, and looks like I've been carrying a little friend with me all this way. Still kicking. Well, I've just crossed the Pasco River on the Frenchman's track. It was certainly the biggest river crossing that I've done, but the rivers are down at the moment, so even though it's the biggest one, it's a little bit more manageable, but there's nothing like crossing a river that you know has the potential to have crocodiles in it, to focus the mind. It was a bit of a... I didn't film it. I'll maybe film the next one at Wenlock. There was a bit of a rapid that I could kind of walk along to kind of protect me a little bit. Had the bike on the other, carrying over my shoulder, with the seat sitting over my shoulder. Did it in one go. As a couple of four-wheel drives come through just before I crossed, coming in the other direction. All the four-wheel drives seem to be going west-east and I'm going east-west. Yeah, message Jackie to let her know that all's good. It's probably, you know, zero risk, but for a protected little Victorian, it's a bit scary nonetheless. All right, 30 to a bit more, I think, 35 Ks onto Wenlock River, which is my stop for the night, another bush camp. Looking forward to it. Nice easy day on the ride, though apparently pretty tough, sandy track, so don't want to get too far ahead of myself and think that it's too easy, but it's, you know, should be there sort of early afternoon, I'd say. Sweaty. Gross. Do that a dozen times a day. From one side of the track to the other. Well, just a quick shout out to my wonderful family. I've brought so many of these meals. I've eaten about half of them already, but you can see there's 10 of them there, and every one of them has a little personalised message from Zach, Sam and Jackie. Aren't they champions? Let me show you. So we've got "You can do it." Sam's done some little squiggles for me. How cool's that? And some more squiggles over here. We're cheering you on. Nachos make you go faster. I reckon Zach's written this one, "Let's go Dad." And lots more as well. They're definitely helping, keeping me going. Thanks everyone. The other wonderful thing that my family have done for me is make me some encouragement stickers. That's a handprint of everyone in my family. There's some more words of wisdom. And finally, this one too. I think this one's my favourite. I think everyone's had a good contribution to this one. Zach's had a ride, pedal to the metal. Zach's drawn a bike. I love it. I love it. Thought I'd stick them on here. So lots of people pull over and ask me what I'm up to. I reckon people will ask me about these now too. You heard about this place at Australia Zoo. Whole bunch of land that Steve Irwin's privately purchased and takes care of for the environment. Good effort, Steve. Well, new pair of sunnies, the last one's smashed. Looking good, Tim. I stayed here at Bramwell Junction last night. Wayne and Christy looked after me. They fed me dinner. They're from Perth. Did a wonderful job. Heading on the telly track now for Cockatoo Creek. This is the track that I'm about to go on, and this track looks pretty small, but it goes all the way to the top of Australia. Yeah. That's the one I'm going on. Gunshot from the top. It's way more hectic than I expected. And from the bottom. I've been on the telly track now for, I don't know, about 45 k's. This is the first telegraph pole I've seen. Pretty cool. Let's see if we can find any more.
Good morning. Just had another 11-hour sleep. These sleeps I'm having up here are freaking amazing. Went to bed probably about 7:30. I'm not the only one doing it. Everyone's going to bed early up here. And it's now 6:30. I've slept, woke up a few times in the night, but slept pretty solidly all the way through. Doing a decent ride in the day seems to give you a massive sleep. And I'm loving it. But it's pretty cool. Like, I sleep most nights with no fly on, so that's my view if I look straight up out of my tent. There's a pretty full moon at the moment, so there's usually a moon weaving its way across the sky through the night. It's pretty nice. Just picking up my bike, and I don't know if you can see, there's a little scorpion in there. Just ran across my sight. Cool. Take care, little friend. Have a good day. I think you're missing this. It's a lovely day, the sun's shining. I'm sitting in the shade, but the sun's shining. Just crossed a little lagoon, as you've seen, and then stopped for a little break on, I think, about 6 or so k's into the ride for the day. Very easy going, not too far to go today. Fruitbat Falls and Elliott Falls, two very popular swimming spots, so I think it's going to be pretty hectic, but they look spectacular anyway, so we'll stop in and have a look. And then camp maybe at Elliott Falls or Sam Creek, which is just on from there tonight. I think it's like only going to be a total of about 30-35 k's of riding today, so keeps plenty of time free for swimming, which is the most important thing. It has occurred to me that I think this video will look like it's quite lonely and that there's not many people around and that I'm spending all my time on my own, which is more a reflection of my lack of comfort in asking people to film them than it is to do with the fact that I'm not seeing people. I think one of the concerns I had coming up here was that it was going to be hectic and crazy and heaps of people and not kind of remote and isolated and quiet. And it absolutely has been hectic, but it's actually been really cool. People have been brilliant. Like, I reckon I could have done this trip with no supplies. If I'd accepted every offer for water, food, supplies along the way, I could have got through this whole trip without bringing anything, to be honest. The other night, Wayne and Christy Wayne gave me a beer, and then we had another beer, and then all of a sudden I'm having dinner with them and their 2 kids, which was heaps of fun. I think I've had 4 beers that have just been handed to me along the way. Just people stopping and sticking their head out the door and asking a lot of questions, really curious, really encouraging, which has been really, really nice. People, I think I'm a different kind of cat to the most of the people that are up here. But I've been, fully, people have embraced me and been curious and really encouraging, and it's been so nice.
Controlled burn is underway. This was not burnt out when I came in. Pretty cool. Well, after 3 days, this is where I've got to leave the telly track. Hopefully I'm back one day. This is where I've just come from. That's if I keep going up the telly track. And then over here is the bypass, which I have to take to get back to the ferry. The telly's been great. I've loved it. It's been the right amount of hardness. There's been some technical bits where I've got to practice my mountain bike riding skills. Not too much sand. It's been amazing. The rivers have been as spectacular rivers as I've seen in my life. The little creeks, especially this northern section this morning in particular, to be honest. It's special country up here. But sadly now back to the Northern Development Road, which will be a highway of dust and corrugations, but you got to do what you got to do. And Jardine River tonight, cross on the ferry in the morning.
Alrighty, just crossed the Jardine River on the ferry. Speaking to a lovely couple camped next to me last night. Recommended that I keep going past Chili Beach to another one called Narunga. I've had internet, so I've had a bit of a look. It looks like paradise. That's how the Google reviews describe it, at least, and the pictures certainly look that way. It's 67 k's with a shopping stop in the middle. It's a bit of a longer ride than I was planning, but apparently the road's reasonable, so I'm going to give it a go.
Nearly at Bamaga. It's beautiful through here. The main highway was giving me the irrits. So I've taken this side road, it's much nicer. Just bumped into Wayne and Christy too. They were coming the other way. The couple and their kids who I saw at Bramwell Station, and they gave me dinner. They lifted my spirits on that awful road. Look at it through here. Spectacular. Less corrugations, less cars in their dust. Good alternative option. Whoop. Making reasonable time. I think I'll get to the bush camp a bit further north. Let's see.
Bitumen into Bamaga.
Hey, heading north, just north of Bamaga, coming into my bush camp for the night. I've just come over a hill. You probably can barely see it, but the first view of Torres Strait water for me. Looks spectacular. All right, another 10 k's or so into camp. Well, I've made it to Runga Point, which is a hop, step and a jump from the tip. Tomorrow's tip day. I think it's 19 k's up to the tip. And back again, maybe not even. So easy riding day. Might even stop. There's Punt Sand Caravan Park, which has a restaurant, so I might even treat myself to a tip celebratory lunch there tomorrow. I'm camping next to a couple of people I've been following along, Kelly and Joel, who are lovely, from Gippsland, and yeah, having a good time. Time to make some dinner and go to bed.
What are these tracks? Tiny crocodile?
Well, leaving Roonga and on the way to the tip. 19 k's. I think it's rough road, so I'm going to stop at Punt Sand on the way and see if they'll have me for the night. I'm going to stop at a potential bush camp turn off just here, I think, and see if that's an option for tonight. If neither of them are a go, I guess I'm down to Loyalty Beach. But more importantly, tip time.
Well, I've just checked into Punsand Bay Caravan Park. It's incredibly luxurious, which is very exciting. And now I'm doing the last 14 k's or so up to the tip, taking a four-wheel drive trail from Punsand Bay, not the normal trail, and it's the hardest, sandiest trail I've done the whole time. I reckon this is my one last test to the top. I think of the 14 k's, 7 of it is this sandy, tough road, and then I'd join back onto the main road going up, and that'll be a bit easier. But here's the last test. Wish me luck.
Sleeping for couldn't tell you where I am. Probably been here before. Oh, it feels just like an illusion. Everything's moving without any motion. All that I want is some explanation today. Some explanation today. Oh, it feels just like an illusion. Everything's moving without any motion. All that I want is some explanation today. Some explanation today. Some explanation today.
Well, I'm here on Thursday Island. I just got the ferry over this morning and stopped for coffee, and then did a little bit of shopping, and then just moseying my way around this small island. I think I've been riding for about 45 minutes very slowly, and maybe if I ride for another 15 minutes I'll get all the way around the island. It's really pretty. It feels like I'm on a Pacific island or something like that, more so than like I'm in Australia. The water is just spectacular. It's that kind of turquoise colour. You might be able to see it around this way, out on the horizon there. It's amazing. Yeah, I've got a boat at 3:15 across the Horn Island, so I've got a couple of hours yet to kill. I think I'll just tour around this beautiful little quaint island. It's like the central business district for the whole of Torres Strait, and so it's got a very impressive looking health service. Where the town is, it's got a really nice feel. It's kind of bustling, and it's got a really nice kind of energy to it. The rest of the island's very laid back, I'd say. So I guess I'll do some laid back touring around for another couple of hours, and then mosey on over to Horn Island. Sound like a plan? Just stumbled across two of these little shelters. I wonder if they're like lookout towers from the war when the Japanese were coming in here. They look like they might be a bit too modern for that, I don't know. There's two of them. Pretty cool. Good view from up here.
All right, so I thought it might be useful just to do a visual of how the trip went and where I went and where I spent each night. All right, so here's Pajinka or Cape York. If I zoom in a bit. Here we have Cohen. I flew into Cohen Airport, which is just here. And on the first afternoon, rode up to here at Archer River. Spent the night there on the first night. Second day, I rode up the development road, turned right onto Portland's road and rode up to about here somewhere where the crossing onto the Pasco River is. And that was night 2. And then on the third day, I rode from there down here and along this track to Cape Weymouth, which is just next to Chile Beach. I then on day 4 had a rest day. Just did this tiny little ride around to here at Portland Roads and had a lovely lunch there. Came back and that was day 4. I think that was about 24 Ks, nice easy day. Day 5 was a big one, 90 odd Ks, rode back out of Cape Weymouth down to Lockhart River, did some shopping and then rode back up the hill across Portland Roads to the Frenchman's Track. Which is here, and then rode along there to the Pasco River crossing. Day 5 was a bit of a reward, a nice easy day after a long day. Just rode from there across to to the Wenlock River crossing on Frenchman's Track. Day 6, rode from there, pretty big day, but on a reasonably easy road off the end of it, Frenchman's Track. Then all the way up to Bramwell Roadhouse. I might flip the map around to a zoomed in version of the high section. All right, so then from Bramwell Junction, started on the Telly track, rode along here and pretty straight up through here. Few creek crossings around that section there. Gunshot was just there, and then stayed the night at Cockatoo for the next night, I think the 7th night. From there, had a reasonably easy day, did a lot of swimming, rode up here to Fruitbat Falls, and then around to Twin and Elliott Falls, and spent my 8th night just north of there at Sam's Creek, which was very pretty. From Sam's Creek, did as far as I could go north along the Telly track until I had to turn off to get across to the ferry crossing. Got across Nolan Brook, and then took this connecting road back out to the Bamaga Road, or the kind of northern bypass road. Rode around here to the Jardine River crossing. Had a night there. I got recommended a spot right up close to the tip to spend the next night at Roonga Point. So I did end up making it there. I rode along here through Bamaga. I went off this way towards the airport, then back into Gamaga. Did some shopping there. Rode up Pajinka Road, which actually was quite a challenging road. Very sandy, very corrugated. Turned left onto Punsand Bay Road and then across here to Roonga Point, an absolutely beautiful spot. And as you can see, very close to the tip. The next day, rode across to the tip, and that was really beautiful and very rewarding. Back to Punsand Bay for the night. I had to get back down to Seisha, so rode back down to Seisha, which was just up here. So rode down to Seisha or Loyalty Beach, which was just north of there. Next day, rode down to Seisha, got the ferry across to Thursday Island and had a lovely day there. Pub lunch, coffee in the morning, rode around the island, pretty small island, and then went across to Horn Island in the afternoon, had my final night there. Rode across to the airport, packed my bike up and flew out to Cairns from there. Met Jackie down at Cairns. And so that was my 14 days of riding.